Good morning, students. I, Vidyasagar, your SS teacher, welcome you all in the e-learning class of Modern International School HISWA. I am going to start subject history of standard 7 and which chapter is New Kings and Kingdoms. And this is my first video lecture on this topic. Dear students, as we have already discussed about the emergence of the new peoples who were the Rajputras in the previous chapter and how the different activities these were also emerging, but in this chapter we will see how the new kings and kingdoms they were emerged during the 7 centuries. In these periods the new kings they were emerging and they were expanding their own areas. During these 7 centuries we can see the dynasties which were in different part of the subcontinents they were expanding between the 7th to the 12th centuries. It means like the Chalukyas, like the Pals, like the Shamnas, Gurjar Patihas, Rashtrakuts. These were such kingdoms which were being developed in the these centuries from 7th to the 12th centuries. Next topic is the emergence of new dynasties. Dear students, how a dynasty has become came in the emerged as these dynasties have emerged when the people became powerful and only a few people when they become the powerful and other the people they will remain engaged in their the work like the peasants artisans etc. So in that criteria when the peoples they were very close to their kings and they were those existing kings they were just acknowledged them as their samantas. It means subordinates. Those subordinates it means those which are working under a particular person, they are known as subordinates or they were known as the samantas. They were just brought the gift for the kings and also bring them the military support, and in order of that the kings they used to give the lands, from there they could rule and they also observe the taxes from it, as they were having the combination of power as well as the wealth. So some of them, those subordinates, they were considered themselves as maha samanta, or those who became the greater among the samantas they considered themselves as the mahasamantas or the mahamandaleswar. It means you can say the great lord of a circle or a region. It means they considered, while they used to grew more powerful, they considered themselves as the great lord of the particular region, particular circle, and they were just independence from their overlords. It means after some time when they became much powerful they used to leave the overlords, or you can say the kings. Like one of the instances is given here, the Rashtrakuta which is in the Deccan. You will see in the map these were the subordinates of the Chalukyas of Karnataka, and a Danti Durg who was the Rajput chief who overthrew the Chalukya. It means the mean is to say that when the subordinate, when the samantas, they became powerful, they have overthrew the kings of the Chalukya and they performed a rituals called the Hiranya Garbha. It means the worm, the golden worm, and from which the kings have birth. When these were the rituals which was performed by the Brahmins, as they considered it as the rebirth of the sacrificer or the Kshatriya. It means those at that time, as we have already discussed in the previous chapter, the work mainly of the Kshatriya was to sacrifice themselves to protect the others. Whereas the in the other peoples, they were also considering some of the military skills, and they were also carving out about the kingdoms like the Kadamb Mayur Sarman and the Gurjar Pratihar Harishchand. They were the Brahmins. It means the Brahmins, as we have discussed in the previous chapter, the Brahmins, they have the traditional work. They were the main person who were the worshipping, and they were also knowledge about the Sanskrit. That's why they were considered as the important person. But they used to live their own tradition, and now they have took also the arms, and they have also the view that we could also be the kings. So they have also established in the king, respectively in Karnataka and Rajasthan. What we can observe here, the changes which were being taken place here, like those Brahmins who were indulged in the worshipping, they have took the arms and they also became the kings. Now your next topic is administration in the kingdoms. Like many of the new kings, they, it means those kings, they consider themselves as big titles. It means they want that a big titles would consider them as the big kings. So they have put the big titles before their names. Like one of the title was Maharaja Dhiraj. It means it is most superior among all the kings. That's why they kept it title Maharaja Dhiraj. And Tribhuvan Chakravartin. Tribhuvan, tree, it means three, and Chakravarti, it means king, Raja. It means the lord of three worlds. What you can say? These were the high sounding titles which the kings, they were kept before their names. In spite of that, they were sharing their power with the Samantas as well as the peasants treated as the Brahmins. And in each of these states, can you assume that these peoples became the kings? Then who were the peoples who were working for them? They were the peasants, cattle keepers, artisans, who always, or who were compelled, who were pressured to pay the taxes what they used to produce. Sometimes they usually told it as the rent, because they are producing in the capture of their kings. It means those persons who were becoming the king, they were only based what the artisans, peasants, they were producing. It means their maintenance, their all the expenditure, it all was depending on their taxation. Next topic is 400 taxes. During the Chola period, which was ruled in Tamil Nadu, they released 400 types of different taxes which were released by them, in which the tax is Veti, in which they were not supposed to give the food production, as they were taken as the forced labor. It means these taxes, Veti, was taken in the form of the labor. It means Veti tax is given, then they have to pay it in the form of labor. Another was Kadmai, which was as the land revenue. It means you are making the houses and you are doing something, then in their areas, then you have to pay the taxes. And many on different type of cess was also on their family properties. It means the king which became the king, they don't have any another sources, rather than they were taking it from the peasants, artisans, and the cattle keepers. There the labor was putting to make them as a king. Okay, dear students, read the paragraph and watch the video carefully. Thank you.